Alright, welcome back everybody to another episode of our Madden 25 Connected Franchise Owner Mode Fantasy Draft Buffalo Bills series. Today is episode number 24. Happy Thursday. We are coming off our big win, on the road against the division rival Miami Dolphins. Today, what do we got on the docket? Coming off our big win over Colin Kaepernick and company, we have some player progression to take care of. Last episode was all about our defense. Well, I shouldn't say last episode. I always say last episode when I'm talking about this stuff. But last upkeep and practice episode, of course, episode number 22 is all about our D linemen, and today is going to be all about our linebackers, right? So today, let's take a look. This is our backup left outside linebacker, Miles Burris. Now, Miles is a young guy. He's only 25 years old. His awareness needs some loving, so we're going to give him some of that points. Fortunately, he has a whole bunch of points to deal with, though I am still upset. If you've been keeping up with our practice videos, of course, episodes number 20 and 22 have seen us lose 2 consecutive games in a row. It's driving me freaking crazy. That means we're now 2,000 points back of where we could be if we'd won both of those practices. So we're going to start off by giving Burris some awareness, followed by some tackling ability. Burris, mostly what he does is situational play and special team stuff. So if we can really give him some love in the tackling department, that'll make him go a long way to making him a better special teamer. Let's get him up to 85, a solid tackling rating. That is strength and speed are going to be a little bit too costly at this point, but that's fine. There's lots down here that we can still do. Toughness, it'd be nice to give him just a little bit. Get him up to about a 75. Who ever heard of a linebacker who wasn't that tough? That's a shame. Block shedding for sure. And then I think we should finish this bad boy up with some zone coverage. Just in case he does find his way onto our defense at any point, we're going to need him to be able to cover more effectively than a rating that would be reflected by something in the low 60s. All right, maybe get him up to a 70, and then play recognition, maybe look at getting this up to about a 70 as well. And I think that's going to set up Miles a lot better for not power moves, play recognition, there we go. A lot better for both special teams, unit stuff, and also in the future when he is playing on special teams. We'll leave him with those 499 points. Next up for our left outside linebackers, we have Mr. Durant, Justin Durant, the 27-year-old run-stopping linebacker. He's had a pretty quiet year, except for some nice, actually nice, and hey, yeah, his zone coverage is quite good, actually. Zone coverage getting up into the high 70s. We're going to see if we can bump it up to about an 80. He's had a couple nice picks this year. I think it's 2 interceptions through 7 games, which is pretty impressive for a linebacker who's known for his run-stopping ability. So with that, his zone coverage is looking nice, and he is a veteran, so his awareness is already good. Tackling upgrade, sure, why not? Let's give him a tackling upgrade, get him into the 90 region, which is wonderful to see. And then from there, let's look at getting him some block shedding help, getting him maybe just up past the 73-ish rating area, spending some points there. There we go. We get him up to a 74, and that's good. Moving on from our left outside linebackers, let's head over to our middle linebackers. This is a very key area because we do have 2 very young middle linebackers. Now, here we have our backup middle linebacker. This is Dan Connor. Dan Connor does not get into the game a whole lot. He's mostly a special teams kind of guy. Let's bump up his tackling just a little bit. That's where the bulk of his points are going to go because those upgrades are so expensive. But yet worth doing because, of course, Connor is somebody who mostly plays on special teams, like Miles Burris, our other backup guy. Let's also give him some man coverage love just in case and those are expensive upgrades for something, for an ability that's so low. From there, I think we give him block shedding basically the rest of the way. Dan Connor is somebody who does get a little bit of playing time on defense when we go into 3-4 formation, though we do mostly stay away from that. We mostly stick with our 4-3 forefront type stuff to keep Casey Hampton in the game. Then we go on to the rookie phenom, John Bostic, who's played pretty well for us. He's only 22 years old. He's got 23 tackles on the season, including many for a loss. With Bostic, especially at his age, a lot of his development is all about awareness, awareness, awareness. We're going to get that awareness up to about a 75 today. Oh, play recognition got one. That's okay. Play recognition is very important as well. Awareness, it's up to a 72. We'll keep that one going. Up to a 75. There he goes. Block shedding would be a valuable one as well. Let's give him just up to about a 78 here. Just a few more points. There we are. Tackling, he's already strong. I would like to give him a bit of an upgrade. Let's get him up to about an 85. Oops, man coverage got one. I was going to give him one of those anyways. That's fine. Man coverage gets one. Tackling is up to an 85, which is wonderful. And let's sync this last one into his block shedding ability. Why not? And there we go. Tackling up to an 85. Not bad for just a 22-year-old middle linebacker in his first season of professional football. On to our right outside linebackers. We got three guys here. Jamal Westerman, who's surely a special teams kind of guy. We have Brandon Jenkins. Jenkins is a rookie who was drafted by the Washington Redskins in real life this past year, and then Jason Worrell's the starter. So let's give Worrells some love here. Worrells is still just a young guy. Worrells just entered the NFL in 2010, so let's give him some awareness and play recognition. Worrells, a lot of what he does is dropping back into coverage, so I think for him, with awareness and play recognition is mostly what we're going to be working on. Let's take a quick look at some of his physical skills. I do think that they're in a good spot. He has come up with at least one interception this year, so and I can't recall him being someone who's responsible for a lot of blown tackles. But let's just quickly double check. His tackling is 80. Let's give that just a couple of upgrades here. Maybe get it up to an 82. There we are. Stamina is fine. Pursuit is excellent. Man coverage, let's bump that up just a bit. It's an expensive upgrade, so let's not go any farther. And then I think zone coverage, because he does drop back into zone from time to time. Let's get that up maybe to a 70 if we can afford it. I think we will be able to. That should be fine. And there we go. We get it up to a 70. And that's good for Worrells. Now we have more points for our backups in Westerman and the Jenkins, our rookie. Not rookie, youngin. No, he is a rookie, not just a youngin. He's a full-fledged rookie. Yeah, I just said that. Duh, Tuxedo t-shirt. So let's give him a bunch of awareness, obviously. When your awareness is below 50, you are going to be a liability on the field in terms of knowing where you are supposed to be and playing with your brain as well as your body. So let's see if we can get this up to a 60 right away. A big boost in awareness, just because, again, if he does see the field, and he is only one injury away. If Worrells were to drop, then Jenkins would be into the game at outside linebacker. And given that he is mostly a physical guy, like his speed, I think, is excellent. His tackling is not bad at 74. Not great. We will need some upgrades there. But his speed, for instance, is... Oh, his speed is only 74 as well. Interesting. All right, well, his overall rating is pretty low. So I think we mostly will look at his awareness, his tackling. Let's give a couple up to 76. His play recognition is, oh, look how low it is. It's a 49. Let's see if we can get this up to a 60. Like the awareness, just again, so that if he does end up playing on defense at any point this year, he will not be a liability for us. Especially with, him being, first of all, a rookie, then second of all, on the lower side of rookie skill level. Let's just say it that way to be polite. We're not as much focused on him being an asset on the field if he ever does see it on the defensive side of the ball. We're mostly focused on him not being a liability. His zone coverage actually is not bad for an outside linebacker, even for a rookie. Let's get him up to just a 68 in that. His block shedding, let's see if we can get that up to about a 72. And then I think we should spend the rest on his tackling. I am surprised at how low his speed and his tackling is, with his skills kind of being predicated on being a pass rushing outside linebacker. I did expect more ability from those two areas, but if we can get his tackling up, I was thinking 82, but if we can get it even to an 83 maybe. No, we can't, just too expensive. That'll be good. That'll really benefit us on special teams where he does the vast majority of his playing. Hopefully that's where most of his playing keeps happening. And look at that, from 70 to 73 just from those upgrades. World's also jumping up one. Let's take a quick look at Bostic. He's up to a 76, which is nice. I think he started the year, he dipped as low as the low as low as the high 60s at some points this year, but I think he kind of settled at a 72 or 73. So if he's already up to a 76, that's excellent. Meanwhile, Jamal Westerman, we're just going to basically focus on special team stuff because he is somebody who is not going to be playing a whole bunch of defense. He's actually 2 injuries away from getting into the game. So we're going to look for him for basically block shedding and tackling, because that is most of his job, is getting downfield on punt returns and or on punt cover and kick cover and shedding blocks and making tackles, right? So we're going to basically, just focus in those 2 areas. Block shedding upgrades are coming pretty cheap right now. I imagine tackling upgrades are going to come a little bit more expensive, but that's all right. We got block shedding up to a 76 now. Tackling, I think we're basically going to fill this one up until we can't fill it up anymore. He's up to an 80 after this 915 point upgrade, and then these costs will start expanding rapidly. That last one cost us 1,000 to get us to 81. 82 costs us 1,250. Next one is 15. This next one's probably going to be 1750. There it is, 1750 to get him to 84. To get him to 85, it's going to cost us 2125, which means we can probably only afford one more to get him to 86. But still, a big leap there. And Westerman, just from those upgrades, goes from a 69 overall to, what is it now, to 70. So he only leaps 1, but still, it's an important skill set that he has for the role that he plays with the team. So coming on from there, we have, actually, let's just take a quick overall view of our roster and see how people are progressing. Rodgers is only sitting at a 94 right now. I find that surprising. He started the year at, I think, a 97. I'm not sure why. Wow. You know what? I'm not sure about these numbers. Darren Sproles is way down. Ronnie Brown is way down as well. Williams is down. Kuhn is way down. I'm not sure if I trust these numbers a whole lot. I'm still not 100% sure about how these numbers flex from week to week and the ongoing whatever. Marcus Gilbert up to an 85. That's wonderful to see for such a young player especially. Bruce Irvin up to a 90. Wow. So some of these guys are fluctuating the right way. Some of them are fluctuating the wrong way. 92 for Davis, only an 83 for Rodgers Cromartie, and an 82 for Kirkpatrick. Now I did expect at one point, because Kirkpatrick is so young, just a second-year player in the league, that he might leapfrog one of our top 2 corners at some point. But it'll be interesting to keep our ear to the ground with that. Shamarko Thomas, the rookie safety, who started the year at a 75, is now looking at an impressive 80 overall rating. That's one of our biggest leaps, and that is wonderful to see. Anyways, we will continue looking at these numbers later in our next Upkeep episode on Serial Monday, which will come on in episode number 26. Meanwhile, we have some scouting to do now. In case you have not been keeping up with these practice/upkeep videos, our even-numbered videos, we are looking to draft kind of at one of two positions this upcoming draft for our first pick. Our two most important areas we're looking at are tight end and defensive tackle. Now, we at defensive tackle anyways, we haven't really been overly impressed with Merrill Ritter or Stevie Meyer, the two top guys. Speedy Bales and Eric Baldwin are the two tight ends we've been looking at. Speedy Bales, we saved up this week so we could check out his overall rating, and his overall rating is an impressive A. So personally, you guys, as long as Speedy Bales doesn't go now I should explain as well, if in case you haven't been keeping up with these videos, Speedy Bales was originally supposed to be a top 15 receiver, and he fell way back in the overall projected ratings. He's dropped down about 20 picks and is supposed to be an early second-round pick now. Hopefully, we will pick him with one of the very last picks of the first round if he's available. Right now, I think he's the best option. Next, I think because defensive tackle is our next area of need, I think that we should look to maybe pick there with a late second-round pick or an early third-round pick. There's a couple people we've obviously taken a look. We did not take a look at Jamon Glass because there's no way we'll have a pick high enough to take him. But we've checked out Stevie Meyer and Merrill Ritter to maybe take with our first-round pick. I think it's time to maybe look with our second-round pick. If we've decided to go with tight end with our first pick with Speedy Bales or his friend, I think is it Eric Fisher? I don't know these young men's names yet. I want to say Fisher. It is Eric Baldwin. Not Eric Fisher. I'm thinking of Eric Fisher because he was drafted first overall by the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Eric Baldwin, not Eric Fisher. So if we're going to go with Speedy or Eric, when the first round pick that we have, maybe second round pick would be nice to go with the defensive tackle spot and pick someone who can kind of be an incumbent to Casey Hampton, who's falling off as this year goes on. He has been a nice run stopper for us, but in his old age, he will need to be replaced. It might be, granted, things fluctuate. Maybe Jordan Jordan is going to be too high up on the list for us to pick. But we could perhaps, and these guys are really big bodies here, Alvaro Odigizua. How did I get Odigizua the first time and not get Adantor the first time? So maybe these guys will fall back or fall up or whatever else. Maybe we need to go as low as Otis Stallworth. Nice not to go as low as Wendell Taylor at this point. But these guys here in this area, I think we should focus on these three guys next. From Jordan Adantor to Alvaro Odigizua to Otis Stallworth. These three gentlemen. Let's start today with Adantor. We only have 325 points to spend, so we can't really do a whole lot. I would say if we're going to look at one area, let's look at one area for all three of them, because this is an area I like to check out all the time. It's super cheap. It's just injury. You check out... So obviously we get an A. Most players have an A because they're not injury prone, but I like to always check that out because, you would never want to draft somebody and suddenly find out, oh my God, like their injury rating after all that was a D, and they're going to get hurt every year. Like when you think about actual players in the NFL who can't stay healthy, someone like a Rob Gronkowski would, and he does in this game. He has a very low injury rating, the same as, Rob Johnson way back in the late 90s was hurt every time that he played. He just could not stay healthy, no matter what. So it's always important to me, anyways. It's always very important to check that out. And given that it only costs 50 points to scout, then scout it. It's 50 points a player. Just check it out, make sure it's cool, and then move on. So those will be our next three players that we look at. After that, and you know what, you guys, let me know in the comments too what you think. I haven't set in stone that we're going to be taking a tight end, but let me know. Obviously, this is much your season as it is mine. We share this franchise, so let me know what you think about the possibility, anyways, of taking a tight end with the first pick, or taking maybe somebody else. Maybe there's a position that you feel really good about taking. Season game next week, tomorrow, this week. Tomorrow, Friday, episode number 25, we're going to be playing the Saints at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. We'll have an indoor game after that rainy affair in Miami. But first, we got to practice. Now, as you saw in episode number 22, which was affectionately labeled tied, what was it? The practice up by 3. No, down by 2. Thank you. Down by 2. Down by 2 equals never again. We're never picking down by 2 again. It's just not going to happen. We are going to go today with something that's tried and true. We're going to go with goal line stand. Hold your opponent at the goal line midway through the fourth quarter and go on to win the game. This is the practice session that we picked 2 practice episodes ago. So Friday of last week in episode number 20 that saw us fail. So I want to redo this one. We'll never redo up by 2 because up by 2, seriously, screw up by 2. It's a piece of crap. But we're doing this one again today just to make up for it. Though I gotta admit, I'm kind of nervous. I don't really get nervous when we play the season games because though I'm always, aware that we might lose, it's not really seriously on my radar. Not to say that I'm like, oh yeah, I got this, we'll never lose. Just because I understand that it doesn't really hurt us if we lose a game at this point, that we are 7-0. If we fall to 7-1, that's cool. Chances are that's not going to hurt us in the long run. We're still going to be a playoff team. We're still going to be able to, do cool things in the playoffs, hopefully. But these practice sessions, I do get nervous because it hurts us a lot when we fail. That's so far this entire season, I think we've had 11 practice sessions, and we have succeeded in most of them, but we have failed. Oh, there's an easy touchdown. What a great start. What a great start. The halfback goes completely free, and it's a touchdown. So we're going to have to already fight back and score a touchdown to start off this practice. Anyways, as I was saying, we've cost through failing 3 times. I think it's 3 out of 11 now. 3 times out of these 11 practice sessions, we've cost our team 3,000 points in development. That's something that across the whole team, because that 3,000 points applies to every player on our roster. We have, I believe it's 55 players on the roster. That means that we've cost our team, somewhere in the neighborhood of 150,000 experience points, which is not good, obviously. It's kind of a disaster. So to lose out on these points is super, super, super unacceptable, in my opinion. We need to maximize our chances, every single chance we get when it comes to practice, because so much good or bad can happen from week to week, depending on how well our players develop. Anyways, we are going to open things on the ground here. Heath Miller makes a nice catch, squirts up the sideline for 8 yards. Very nice. We'll move the ball on the ground at this. Well, actually, no. Let's keep it in the air. We won't do anything risky. We'll throw the ball away if anything happens. That risks, a turnover or whatever else. But it'd be nice to move the ball in the air if we can. Jackson makes the catch, and he makes a man miss. Excellent run there for Deshaun Jackson. 13 yards after the catch, and that's one of the nice things that I do like about throwing the ball on second and short. I know I've said this before, but second and short, if you can, if you're in 2nd and 1, you may as well put the ball in the air, as long as you don't risk throwing an interception or running a play that might lose yardage or taking a sack or whatever. As long as you can be smart and you're willing to throw the ball away in case something like, to avoid something crappy happening, then take a chance on 2nd down. As long as you're not stupid about it, there's nothing wrong with taking that quick chance, because even if you have to throw the ball away, 3rd down is always there. And if you don't convert on 3rd down, that's what 4th down's for. 4th and inches, baby. Speaking of that, Heath Miller makes a beautiful catch over the middle, and we are going to now, being on our opponent's 30-yard line, Aaron Rodgers picking apart this defense so far. Slow things down just a little bit. We don't want to. If we are going to score, we would like to score with as little time on the clock as possible, at least 20 seconds or less, so our opponent doesn't feel inclined to try and run the ball down our throats or pass, the Hail Mary, whatever, and have some fluky touchdown happen. We would like to kind of, and we're going to have to throw this ball away. Deshaun Jackson was open over the middle, but I was not in a position to throw it there. I was waiting for Darren Sproles to come open because there was no one over the middle. He was going to have an excellent opportunity to put some serious yardage together, but he was tackled at the line of scrimmage. He fell down, and there was no call. So, unfortunately, we are in 3rd and 8 at this point. It's a drag that happened. Heath Miller, though, finds a nice hole, and he's down at the 14-yard line. Time still running. We got 52 seconds on the clock. And you know what? Let's let it run. It's okay. We have time. Heath Miller, we've had a lot of success, I think, on offense these last 2 games. But Heath Miller, with the emergence of Deshaun Jackson, Heath Miller has kind of, fallen away a little bit. Not a lot, but definitely a little bit. And it would be nice to keep him involved in the offense because when he's on, he's a very valuable weapon. At least I think. You guys can feel free to agree or disagree. And Ronnie Brown's going to score here. We'll run down the sideline just to shave off a couple seconds. But Ronnie Brown in for the touchdown, baby, baby. Boom, baby, baby. And that means that we have, at least once this convert is up and away, we should have this practice session tied at 17, which would mean that we are probably going to overtime. I don't think from our past experiences that this practice team, this white and black practice team, will try and put a drive together with just this short time left on the clock. From my experiences and our shared experiences on YouTube, traditionally this practice team just runs the ball once and then lets the clock run out. So we will have to actually, stop them, which is, important, because we don't want to see our opponents ramble off an 80-yard run. But we'll bring Shamarko Thomas back. He's our speediest safety, and he'll kind of serve as our extra catchment guy. But we don't need him. John Bostic gets in there. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie in there for holding the running back to just a 2-yard gain, and that will end this game. The regular session part of this practice. Anyways, off to overtime. There we go, and they do call another play. It's off, but Rob Nankovich eats his lunch. Another 2-yard gain, but it don't mean nothing. And so we will get the ball. One of the things I love about these practice sessions is that we always get to start with the ball, which I feel is really nice. It's kind of charitable. It's like, yeah, we won't, you won't do the coin toss or whatever. We'll just give you the ball, which I always appreciate. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like the game just giving you a little wave or a little pat on the back, being like, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. We got your back. Anyways, let's run the ball down the game's freaking throats and get our points, shall we? Heath Miller wide open on the sidelines, and he does keep his feet in bounds. 50 yards on 4 catches for Miller in this practice session. He's done an excellent job of getting open so far here, making a nice play to set up that touchdown run for Brown within the dying seconds of the regular time of this session. A nice job by Miller. And Doug Baldwin comes open there. Nice catch. He just sits down right there before the safety can hit him. Beautiful 13-yard reception. And being in range for a field goal, we are going to put the ball on the ground here, I think. Now, we may, and I think we're going to have to audible out of this run around the tackle. And oh, there's room up the middle. Look at that room up the middle. The original plan was to run the ball off tackle and get around the defense, but they had a nice play called to counter that. Or at least their formation looked like it was advantageous to counter that. And so we went away. We decided to run up the gut, and the result, I mean, an easy 12 yards up the gut. And there Eric Wood gets off the defensive tackle anyways, gets off Eric Wood's block and takes down Ronnie Brown for just a 1-yard gain. So we are second down here in 9, a long second down. Not my favorite scenario to be in. A rough block there from Eric Wood. Eric Wood is the weakest link of our offensive line, unfortunately. Jeff Cumberland wide open. He comes away, and the safety knocks him out at the 13-yard line. A 15-yard reception for Jeff Cumberland. Jeff Cumberland does not get a lot of opportunities in this offense, but I will say this for Jeff Cumberland. He has made the absolute most of every opportunity he's been targeted. He's, I think, only caught 2 passes in games where the real bullets were flying, but credit to him. He's been phenomenal. Now, there is a flag on this play. Given that the play wasn't blown dead, I would imagine we're looking at, and sure enough we are, looking at offsides. So we get a free play there. It's now 1st and 5 from the 8-yard line. We have, and this is actually wonderful, we have an opportunity here to get a first down without actually scoring a touchdown. So we have, if we played our cards perfectly right, we could even have 7. Oh, and I that was completely my fault. I hit the button too early. I hate it when that happens. You're trying to snap the ball, you hit the X button a couple times. I didn't realize it responded the first time, and unfortunately that cost us a down. But it's okay. We can score, or we can earn a first down without actually scoring a touchdown. And Heath Miller's open in the goal line, and he's a touchdown, baby. Boom, baby, baby. Heath Miller, what a nice catch. Not a wild, flashy catch. I was gonna look to see if we could hit up an instant replay there for a thumbnail. We can. We'll have to slot it in afterwards. But it's all right, guys. We succeed. This is our breaking our 2 practice losing streak. It's awesome. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm Tuxedo T-shirt. Thank you for joining me for practice and upkeep on episode number 24. Have a great Thursday. I'm Tuxedo T-shirt, and I'm out.